Alright, today we are going to talk about an artist named Vasily Kandinsky. It's a great word to say, or great words to say. You should try it. Vasily. I know it's a W, but it's Russian. And in Russia they pronounce their W's with a V sound. So Vasily Kandinsky. I like it so much I even named a fish after him. Here is a picture of Kandinsky with one of his paintings. Vasily Kandinsky, he was born in Russia in 1886. That is about the time my great-grandmother was born. Your great-great-grandparents were probably born around that time. He died in 1944. That was the year my mother was born. Your grandparents were probably born about that time. So we're talking about, he was born about 130 years ago. He died a little under 100 years ago. He lived to be about 60. He's considered to be the very first abstract artist, truly abstract artist. Now, abstract is like the opposite of realistic. In realistic paintings, things look like they're real. In abstract paintings, they don't. So there's a lot of different levels between being truly abstract and truly realistic. Pablo Picasso, for example, he painted pictures that you could tell they were people, but they didn't look like real people. His stuff was somewhat abstract. In Kandinsky's pictures, you don't see any real objects. Your imagination might help you find some, but they're not really there. You're just imagining it. So, Vasily Kandinsky, most of his art is non-objective abstract art. That's the kind of the style of abstract art that he does. Non-objective means there's no objects. There are no objects in this. There are circles. There are triangles. There are trapezoids. We have a half moon here, or a crescent moon and a half moon. We have a rectangle kind of shape. We have little football shapes or lemon shapes. But there's no actual objects in here. Your imagination might see this as somewhat of a boat, maybe with a beetle playing cards on it. But that's a figment of your imagination. It's not really there. It's interesting how he overlaps his shapes here. Sometimes they overlap completely. This circle overlaps this black triangle completely. Sometimes they're see-through or transparent. So right here the red trapezoid is transparent enough to see the black triangle through it. Sometimes you can see the shape, but he changes colors where they overlap. Where these two quadrilaterals overlap, he's got another little trapezoid there. He's got a quarter of a circle here. Another quadrilateral here. But then the black shape completely overlaps it. It's opaque. Opaque means you can't see through it. So you have transparent and you have opaque. They're both opposites. Alright, so we talked about abstract art being art that is not realistic. There's nothing realistic about this picture. You may see Pueblo cities over here. You might see a bird kind of shape over here. But they're not really there. It's really just a picture of colors, shapes, and lines. Now it's interesting how he puts his colors, shapes, and lines together. He's thinking a lot about variety. Variety is a principle of design that artists use to put different things in there to make things more interesting. So he doesn't just have all the same color circles. He doesn't just have all the same shapes. He even mixes up the kinds of lines he has. He has these little short, close together lines right in this circle here, and then there's short, far away lines here. We have long lines, we have thick lines, we have curved lines. Zigzag-ish lines, bumpy lines, So those are all examples of variety, things that are different in a picture. He also, though, uses harmony. Harmony is a principle of design that is about what's similar. So where variety is things that are different, harmony is things that are similar. So he repeats some of the colors. This yellow is repeated over here and kind of over here. It's kind of a yellow-orange. Here's another yellow-orange, more of the yellow. We've got the red repeated in different parts of the paper or picture. We've got the blue, same color blue repeated in different parts of the picture. We have the black lines, even black outlines on the shapes. All of those things are being done in different parts of the picture, but they're very similar. So it creates a harmony. It's unified. Unity is another principle of design, and he unifies it by sticking to the color, shapes, and lines. He's not trying to put an object in there in front of all of that. He's just trying to keep enough similar things in there, keep enough harmony so that the picture looks like it all belongs together. All of these shapes seem to belong together. So it does not look real. Okay, so we talked about how it only uses colors, shapes, and lines. There are no objects, no houses, no trees, no horizon lines, no animals, and no people. In this picture, what did he do that is very similar in it? What did he do to create some sort of harmony and also creates unity as well? What do you see that is similar? Okay, now what do you see that is different? What kind of things did he change in here? You might have said that what he did to create harmony is he made most of the shapes circles. He adds in some straight lines as well, but there aren't any zigzag lines. There are no squares except what might be made by the overlapping of some of the straight lines. What he did different to add variety to the picture is he changed the colors and he changed the size of the circles. Alright, so non-objective abstract art means that your imagination might see objects, but the objects are not really there. Some parts might remind you of objects, but again, the objects are not really there. Take a look at this picture. I want you to use your imagination and tell us what you see. You can pause the video to do this, because it might take a while. Okay, so some people may have seen kind of a boat, maybe with sails. Some people see a rainbow. This might also be a boat with oars in the water, a mast and a sail. Some people see a fish right here. See the big body and then these fins. Okay, let's take a look at another one. What kind of things do you see right here? I'm going to let you pause the video and talk about this one. Alright, you may have seen like a monster or a dinosaur's head and neck chewing on something. You may have seen these kind of Pueblo houses back here in the background. Some people see things like a tree here, doors down here in a long building. right? What do you think he did to give this picture variety? I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to let you pause the video and talk about that. You're looking for things that are different in the picture, things that he changed, parts that he didn't do all the same. Okay, now what do you think he did that was similar, that added harmony to his picture? What kind of things did he repeat in different parts of the picture? You can pause the video again and discuss them. All right, now to add unity, or to create unity, excuse me, he made this picture non-objective, abstract art. He didn't put any real objects in it. He stuck to the colors, shapes, and lines, and that's what creates the unity. Every bit of this picture looks like it belongs here. All right, now your job is going to be to design your own non-objective abstract art. So you're going to think like Kandinsky. You're going to think of different colors, shapes, and lines that you can do that do not look like any actual objects. Your imagination might see them there, but you can't draw a picture of a tree or a house or a person. Alright, so I'm telling you, you cannot draw those things, or I can't give you full credit. You can't get as good a grade. You have to stick to colors, shapes, and lines. Consider overlapping. Have them go over each other. Consider what parts you want to keep the same and repeat the same thing in different areas. Consider what parts you want to add that could be different in different areas. Consider where you want to have overlapping that's opaque or you can't see through it, and overlapping that's transparent that you can see through. Consider repeating the same colors in different parts of the page. And most importantly, have fun with it. This is supposed to be a little stress-free. So enjoy the process. You're going to draw this with pencil. Then I'd like for you to outline it with a Sharpie. After you've outlined everything, go back with an eraser and try to erase the extra lines that are in the picture. Anything that wasn't covered up by the Sharpie. It'll clean up your picture a whole lot. Last, you're going to take the paint in the trays. Use your paintbrush to add water to the paint. Brush your paintbrush around on it, and you can paint your pictures. All right, have a good time.